And welcome to the Coast to Coast Pick 5 preview show for Saturday, February 17th. And Gino, before we get into that, breaking news, we've got a Pick 6 carryover here at Santa Anita going into Saturday.
Yeah, 5-day racing week. Fingers crossed. Hopefully that Monday will hold out the rain because rain looks like it is pushed back in the forecast, making up for some lost days because it's been a lot of wet weather out here recently. And then Monday, there's a holiday. So extra money up for grabs tomorrow. We're going to talk about the best bet right now in all of horse racing, the Coast to Coast Pick 5, $1 minimum, 15% takeout. Thing pays great every week, combines racing from Gulfstream and from Santa Anita. So I'm pumped to get into this Pick 5 sequence.
Seminar Skip, I can't drive 55. Happy belated birthday and welcome to the show, my friend.
Thank you, you guys. Yeah, 55. Whew. Anyways, doing good. Let's get into this Coast to Coast Pick 5, and hopefully we can be celebrating tomorrow night.
The old double nickels. And we're going to talk about the Pick 5 tomorrow, the Coast to Coast, which Gino said the best bet in racing. Payoffs have been phenomenal. $1 minimum, 15% player-friendly takeout. There's also now a Pick 6 carryover going into tomorrow at Santa Anita, races 4 through 9. Sunday, of course, we have the ever-popular Corgi races, so we will be packed here because they come out in droves for that. But I know we're short on time, Gino, so let's dive right in. The first leg of the Pick 5 sequence is Gulfstream Park, race 10, going a mile and a 16th. What are your thoughts?
Well, the horse to beat in here is Instant Coffee. Instant Coffee is a multiple graded stakes winner, but he's coming off of a long layoff. He has not raced since March of last year. So we're coming up on almost a year for him. And if you think about when he was really good and really successful, it was early on in his 2-year-old season and into the very beginning of his 3-year-old season. I think he's the kind of ripe horse to maybe take a shot against because I could expect him to run well here, maybe second or third. This is a pretty big field with a lot of different possibilities you can go at. So I'm going to take a swing against Instant Coffee here. Horses I'm looking to. The 4, Lure Him In, was the horse that I singled a couple weeks ago. Lure Him In ran down Octane, actually loomed up, and then it looked like Octane battled back and was going to win, and Lure Him In really got game that day. He's in really nice form right now. I thought the 3, Die Vernon, another horse who, if you eliminate the turf race to start, now all of a sudden you have 2 out of 3 victories. You have a race where he was chasing almost a lone speed winner at Churchill. He got away real slowly that day, and I like the fact that he showed a little more tactical speed. Definitely going to use the 3 and the 4. I might throw in the 2, because I think if any horse can actually sneak away, it might be the 2. But in this big field, there's probably going to be a fair amount of speed in here.
So one thing I haven't had for a long time is Instant Coffee since Uncle Chemos came along. But Seminar Skip, are you going to try to beat Instant Coffee? I know Lure Him In obviously loves Gulfstream, and Gino said even XY Point could be maybe a lone speed in here. What are your thoughts?
I'm going to use a couple other ones in here. I'm going to spread. I'm going to use the 5, Barber Road, also along with the ones that Gino mentioned. First time gelding. This horse has some back class. It ran in the Rebel, the Arkansas Derby, the Kentucky Derby, the Belmont. I like the first time gelding. I'm going to give that horse a shot. 12-Volt Man will be on my ticket. This horse loves Gulfstream Park also. Maybe needed that last race. Saffie Joseph usually does better second time out with a race under its belt. It's won 5 out of 11 starts on the Gulfstream main track. And the other one I'm going to use is Flying Liam. This horse is improving with his numbers. I think he'll like to stretch out. He'll be right off the pace, I think. And it could be hot, but I think this horse will get a good trip with Paco Gonzalez. So those are going to be on my ticket. Instant Coffee also. I'm going a little bit deep in here.
So we've been preaching each and every week how much the payoffs have been, and first leg, basically, we're already trying to beat the favorite. We know Instant Coffee is going to take a lot of action, especially with IRAD up aboard. All right, we move to the second leg, Skip. We're going a mile and a 16th, right back at Gulfstream, race 11 in the Royal Delta. Your thoughts?
This race I am having a lot of trouble with. I think it's wide open. A part of me wants to almost hit the all button, but I'm not going to do it. I'm just going to go addition by subtraction. I'm going to use the 2, Mary Quite Contrary. But, I don't know if this horse wants to go the distance. It's usually a sprinter. It ran a mile at Gulfstream first time off the break, but that's that 1-turn mile. So I'm going to use it. Loves Gulfstream Park. 10 out of 7 wins have been there. Another one I'm going to use Yuki, the 4-horse. This horse has run some decent races at Del Mar and then at Los Alamitos. Last time at Delta Downs, it showed speed and then it got eased. They came back. It's worked 4 times before this. I think that horse will be on or close to the lead. So I want to put that horse in at 20-1. And another horse I want to mention is Honor D Lady. I think this horse with Sappy Joseph, his barn's going really well. He always does very good at Gulfstream Park. And then another one I want to mention also is the 9-horse, Imanora, or I can't say that name. That's the other Sappy Joseph. Imanora. Thank you, Gino. So those ones are definitely going to be on my ticket, but I can't wait to hear what Gino says. This race I had a lot of trouble with.
So Spreadsville for Skipper. Gino, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, I thought Honor Delady, honestly, on paper, I feel like it's the horse to beat here. She's had one bad race. That was on soft turf. She's a little fresh here. I don't think the layoff will be that much of an issue. So to me, she's a must-use in the spot. The concern is that she's not fast early. So sometimes that could be that could hinder you a little bit at Gulfstream Park. Skip was pretty spot on with Mary Quite Contrary. It's funny when you watch her, she doesn't seem like the distance will be a problem, just getting an extra 16th of a mile. So I'll give her a look too. The horse that I'm really interested in is Opus 42. This is a filly who's now started to show she can sit off a little bit. And I really like that last effort at Tampa. She was 4th early. She got stuck behind the horses down on the inside. She wanted to go. She had to kind of wait. She tried to get through. She couldn't. She must have altered course 3 or 4 different times. And then she comes all the way out to the middle of the racetrack and gets them late. So I made sure to want to use her too. I'm going to go 2, 6, and 8, I think, in this 11th race.
All right. So Gino narrowing it down a bit, 2, 6, and 8. Skip says use as many as you can. Now we come to Santa Anita in the 3rd leg, and that's race 5. We're going a mile on the turf in a maiden special weight, Gino, and I want your thoughts. Obviously, we probably all watched the replay of Laudatory, who broke slowly and had some trouble. There were a couple interesting rides in this race. What are your thoughts here?
I'm going to single a 3. Yeah, I'm just going to single Laudatory in here. To me, it was kind of getting to some of the other horses who I just didn't love quite as much. I feel like we sort of know who a lot of them are. And with Laudatory, this filly now who had the progression from 6 to 6.5, she had a little bit of a break in between those two. Now she'll put 2 starts together. She'll be fitter. I think she'll be a lot closer to the early lead. She just had a brutal trip. She got stopped badly. She was looking for room. She stalled, and she finally got some room late, and she showed a little burst. And now I think she's going to take a big step forward. So you got to sort of take a stand somewhere. And I think this race is the one where I'll take a stand with Laudatory.
Skip, I was considering singling Laudatory for the same reasons as Gino. I'm trying to make a few cases. Respect the Crown kind of had an odd trip the last time, steadying back in between horses. There were a couple other ones. It doesn't seem like the toughest race in the world. I even think the one is a little interesting with Detoria board. But I might single Laudatory as well because I don't think this is the toughest field ever assembled. What are your thoughts, Skip?
No, I agree. We all saw the replay of Laudatory. The interesting part, once it got free, it showed a little run, but then Hernandez kind of, I don't know, even on the gallop out, he didn't let this horse gallop out like I thought it wanted. It's almost like he knew what he had, and he knew he had a brutal trip, so he kind of didn't let it gallop out as well, like he was trying to hide it a little bit. I don't know, maybe I'm just overlooking things, but like he had a tight rein on the gallop out, which I found was a little strange. Laudatory probably will be a single. There is a couple, like Respect the Crown, like you said, Chappie. The only thing with that horse it seems like every race, it's the same thing.
Yeah.
So some of those horses always find trouble, and I can't bet those horses. They always look like they're a great replay, but after like 3 or 4 or 5 times, it's like, okay, that horse is always going to find trouble. It doesn't matter. So I don't really like that one. The only one that I'm thinking about is Tahini, Papa Badromo's horse. I know he's had a tough meet, but anything with arch on the grass that I see, I usually use because they love the grass. This horse it's the sire of American Pharoah, out of a dam by arch. So this horse should love the grass. I know Kimura jumps aboard. He stays with the 9. I'm a joker. But they put Rispoli on, stretching out, getting the grass. That would be the only one. And look at first time out, ran against Kinza, who just came back and won the big race last weekend. So I'm going to probably single the 3. If I use another one, it's going to be the 7 Tahini.
And Gino always has the stats for turf, but of course the American Pharaohs as well. They seem to enjoy the lawn quite a bit, Gino.
Yeah, they've been very good early on so far. So much actually better on the grass too.
All right, we move on to Gulfstream Park Race 12. We're back at Gulfstream, back on the turf once again, going a mile and a 16th. Skip, what are your thoughts here?
I'm going to take my shot in here, especially if I go too deep in the last race that we just talked about. I really like Perhaps Tonight. Martin Drexler does a great job. He's a Woodbine trainer, but in the winter he ships on over to Gulfstream. He's always wins at 20, 24%. This horse loves to win. 7 out of 23 and 7 out of 19 on the grass with 4 seconds and 3/3. 2 of those 3 wins have been at Gulfstream Park. It's been popular at the claim box. It's been claimed a few times, but this horse loves to win. The last race, it was wide on the turn and in the stretch. It was making a nice move, and it tired a little bit late. Now it goes back to the turf, which it wants to do, and second off the break. I love the workout on the second, because look at going into the race. He had one work on the November 25th, and then he didn't work till January 7th, a light workout tab. That showed me that the horse needed the race. Irad Ortiz Jr. jumps aboard. I'm singling Perhaps Tonight.
All right, so Skippy found his single. Gino, your thoughts?
Yeah, this horse is a major player. I think she's the horse to beat. She gets back to grass, second start off the short break, closed a ton after the slow start. I'm going to use probably 2 others along with Perhaps Tonight. I'm going to go to the outside with Go Big Green, who's going to go 3rd start of the form cycle now. This mare is in nice form, and why the outside doesn't bother me quite as much, she's pretty versatile. She's not fast, but they can use some of her tactical speed, I think, to get into position to where maybe she doesn't have to be hooked wide, or they can go the other way and just take all the way back and try to push the button, make one late run. So I think they do have some options out there to where maybe they don't get hooked as wide. I'm also going to throw in a price, the number 6 Stern Chaser. I think this mare is a little bit sneaky. She just kind of ran a merry-go-round race last time out. It was on the synthetic. Now she gets back to the turf. She'll put 2 starts together, and her races at, Delaware and Laurel were good. They're just a little under the radar because they're at tracks that aren't like Gulfstream and maybe the New York tracks where a lot of the other horses come from. So I'm going to try to go 5, 6, and 11 here in race 12 at Gulfstream Park.
All right, so Skip has his single, and Gino throwing in a couple prices. If and when we are alive, we get to the final leg, which is race 7 at Santa Anita, which is the Baffle Stakes down the hill. And Gino, I'm too deep here. I think two horses. This race looks like it hits right between the eyes going down the hill, and that would be the 3 Stay Hot and the 6 Voltage. Did you find any other horses besides those 2?
Yeah, I'll see your 2 and I'll raise you a couple more. I thought it was a little more challenging than you, but I have both of the 2 that you mentioned. My concern would be with Stay Hot is that sometimes he can get a little too far back in a sprint like this. If maybe 1 or 2 of these horses get away in a smaller field, I could see him having a tough time running them down. I wanted to throw in a couple because of that, and mainly the horses I'm going to throw in are horses who I think will be more forwardly placed. The 1 Heart Headed will try the grass for the first time. The dam was a 4-time stakes winner on the turf and 2 winning turf siblings. Just if you didn't know any statistics about the grass and you just looked and you saw Kitten's Joy on the top side and then English Channel on the dam side. Right off the bat, you would go, wow, that's turf. This horse screams like they're bred for the grass. The 4 Hedwig, stalked on the inside, angled off nicely like a pro. And the only loss came going 6.5 at Kentucky. I'm not really going to hold that against him all that much. Even the outside horse, Charge for Gold, I thought cutting back, drawn well. So I used the same 2 you have, Chappie, but I'm going to use a couple others. I singled earlier, so I have a little coverage here. I'm going to go 1, 3, 4, 6, 7. I think altogether my ticket was $90 that I put together. I was like 18 a horse, I think, coming into the this last race here.
I'm sticking with those 2. And speaking of stay hot, Frisu had 4 wins today, and I think Voltage will be a little bit closer up to the pace. And if you go back to that maiden score, just absolutely dominated going long. And as we know, going long, cutting back down the hill seems to be a winning formula. What are your thoughts here, Skip?
I'm just going to mention 2 others that you guys did not. I thought the race was tough myself. Stay Hot, I think, will be tough, but I think the 5 is very interesting. Always on K. Now, listen, 2 back, this horse ran giant against Hedwig. This horse was flying late and galloped out probably 3 or 4, 5 in front. I think this horse will love the downhill turf course. Even the first race on the grass, the Speakeasy against Slider, who's a nice horse. This horse was bothered at the break and had a tough trip there. Frankie Dettori, we've talked about it many times, coming down the hill. He's got a great win percentage at 10-1. That horse is going to be on my ticket. And then the one that I might use also, I don't know, is the outside, Charge for Gold. First time out, this horse won nicely at Del Mar. I know it didn't get a very big number. Then it had trouble second start. Then it went long, and long in the stake race against Stay Hot. It was head and head. It got tired late. Then it came back in Eddie Logan and didn't run bad. That got beat by Lord Billington, Michael McCarthy's horse. So I think at 6-1, that horse might be a little bit interesting too. But the top play obviously is Stay Hot. Hard-headed obviously was going to like the grass, but I'm gonna go deeper in here since I went light in the last 2 races, or the 2 races before, I should say.
Well, it looks like another challenging sequence, Gino. And like we said, all weekend, 12:30 posts, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Tomorrow we've got the carryover. Of course, we have the coast to coast both days. Monday, we've got special holiday racing. So a lot going on here at the Great Race Place, Gino.
Oh, yeah. I'll even add a couple more for you. Those free to enter pick'em contests that we love to play, Chappie. $500 to the winner every Saturday, every Sunday. This weekend, there's a lot of NBA All-Star props for the Sunday game. So you can win $500 free to enter. And there's a couple NHC seats up for grabs at ExpressBet. Tomorrow in the Santa Anita $500 challenge, $500 to enter, you can win a seat to either 2024 or 2025 with the full package, the hotel and the airfare and everything, all up for grabs in that one. So much chances for us to make some money tomorrow, Skippy, huh?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to this. I've been so close to this coast to coast. I haven't hit one yet, but I'm sick about last Sunday's. I singled the wrong horse and it cost me $44, but shoulda, coulda, woulda. You know, that's the way it goes. All it takes is one of these, and it makes up for all those losing ones. So I think tomorrow's got a good shot to pay good. So I'm looking forward to it.
Well, I think this weekend is our weekend, gentlemen. And once again, thanks for your time. A great weekend ahead. Lots of racing. Corgis involved as well. Gentlemen, have a good weekend. Appreciate it. Thanks so much.
Good luck, everybody.